Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem. Amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah, we are very fortunate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with Iman and blessed us with a Nabi who guided us how to conduct our lives. Every junction of our lives, He has guided us how to conduct our lives. Where there is difficulties, where there is ease, how to conduct our lives, have been guided by Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sometimes somebody feels very despondent also. At that time also Nabi Sallallahu helped us and guided us how to control ourselves, what to do, what are our responsibilities. And we know very well that the ibadat we make is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and nobody besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And from the ibadat also there is one ibadat which is called sadaqah. Sadaqah also is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and nobody else also. So whatever the wealth Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us, that also we got to fulfill the rights of that wealth through the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are going to give sadaqah for name and fame or to please somebody else, it will not be accepted in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us some ni'mat, that ni'mat has got some rules attached to it, some could abide to the rules of the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the ni'mat, that ni'mat will increase. It comes in hadith also, and kitab of fiqh also it comes, that when you give zakat in the hands of the poor person, the faqir's hand, you give zakat to him, then it is as if you are given zakat in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, the poor person is a representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you are fulfilling your responsibility by discharging the zakat in the hands of the poor person. If you try and understand and take assessment of ourselves and our lives and see how lives works, a child is born in the world, is born without any possessions. Is born without clothes also, is born also. But slowly Allah Ta'ala give him that capacity, that understanding to work slowly, and with that capabilities Allah Ta'ala gives him, he starts working and earning a livelihood. And slowly he earns so much of wealth that now Allah Ta'ala says, when you came with nothing, I given you so much now is your responsibility to give something from here to me. In other words, to give zakat to the poor. So now it shows that the wealth we have earned also, achieved also, is not with our own earnings, with our own efforts, but the wealth we have earned is because of the fazl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nobody besides that. It's our responsibility now to discharge the wealth according to the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just when a person passes away, then that wealth you cannot give to anybody. And Allah Ta'ala says, Allah Ta'ala has specified this is where the wealth is distributed. Who must get how much share, that Allah Ta'ala himself has defined the shares for each person, how much the wealth must be distributed. Because that wealth, after the person passes away, that wealth belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now. So you got to follow the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to distribute that wealth now. Otherwise there will be a lot of chaos will be. So it shows that the wealth, when Allah Ta'ala gives some ni'mat, that ni'mat must be distributed according to the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And sometimes you'll find the wealth that we are given, some wealth we can give it openly, and some wealth we give secretly also. So here, now when we understand from here that the wealth must be given to the poor person now, and what is and the poor person is a representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through whom our wealth becomes pure and clean. Give zakat to the poor person now, that person's ihsan on us, that is accepted the zakat and made your wealth pure. How do we treat that poor person? That we go to understand that how you treat a poor person. For example, you find a person is owing money to somebody, and now that person sends somebody from his side to come collect the money from you. Now what is your response? How are you going to behave with that person? You want to be kind to the person and give him whatever the dues is, you give him the payment, whatever it is that can be give it to the person you borrowed the money from. And you're going to misbehave with that person, and this person will go and tell the person, this person misbehaved with me, or whatever. Now there will be problems after that now. Now he will try to make things tough for you, hard for you also. In future you want a loan, he won't give you a loan also in future. But here when you are giving zakat in the hands of the poor person, it's going direct to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah ta'ala knows everything already. Not that someone's going to tell Allah ta'ala that is what just transpired there. So if you have this in mind, with this concept in mind, then enjoy discharging your zakat to the poor person, and you'll be thankful and grateful to him that he had accepted your zakat to make your wealth park and clean. Hazrat Molana Umar Sahab Palanpuri Rahmatullah Alayhi used to say that the masjid, what is a masjid? It's 4 walls is only, made of bricks. And why do we respect the masjid? So you got the wall all made of bricks. Why you respect the masjid? It's got no life in it. But masjid is a place where we make ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we make ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's why we respect that masjid. And Allah Ta'ala's mercies come down in a masjid, that's why we respect that masjid place. A masjid is lifeless, but we respect it because of the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now here the person who's collecting your wealth, for example, using your wealth, your zakat, that person has got iman in his heart. He's a human being. Must we respect him even more and be kind towards him and think that he have cleansed our wealth for us. In the Quran also we find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has explained this in a very beautiful way. He explained, وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. In other words, from what I have given you, spend from there what I've given you. So, for example, you find a father and a son. Sometimes the father asks the son to give him something, and we know that whatever the son is going to give won't fulfill the requirements of the father. But the father will get happy that the son has given me something. In the same manner here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us everything. Now Allah Ta'ala gives something to me now, via the poor person now. So in this situation, and we see from here, nothing will get less from Allah Ta'ala's treasures. But Allah Ta'ala will get happy that we have fulfilled the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً يَرْجُونَ تِجَارَةً لَنْ تَبُورَ. So here in this ayat here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we spend in the path of Allah ta'ala openly and secretly also at the same time. So we can now, how do you spend openly and secretly? What is it? The ulama has explained this, that when zakat, you must give it openly to the people, that people can, that the pride comes out of you, and the needy person get help because of giving zakat to him. And at the same time, if you sadaqah must be given quietly, secretly must be given. And that also some sadaqah can be given openly to encourage people to give sadaqah also. There are both ways. According to the situation, you go adjust and give the sadaqah. If sadaqah openly pride come into you, then it's not correct for you to give sadaqah openly then. And comes the hadith also, if you give sadaqah in such a way that the left hand don't know what the right hand is given, then that person will be under the shade of the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Qiyamah. So it shows whatever ibadat we do, there must be no pride or show off in the ibadat, but it must be there to fulfill the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then that ibadat has got value in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It will be accepted in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this ayat here now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, one is to read the kitab and the Quran, in other words. To read the Quran, understand the message of the Quran. And secondly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned here to read namaz, to establish namaz. And third thing is to spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here, you can imagine and understand from here now how important it is for us to read the Quran, to understand the message of the Quran, and to practice on the Quran. But from all the commands of the mentioned in the Quran, what is most important is to establish our namaz, in other words. So we are very particular with our namaz. Namaz is a medium of drawing the mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and coming close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then after you go to spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, your zakat must be given out properly. So thus Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said this three things is such that there's like a trade, like a business we have done in which there is no loss. There's no regret in that. So once a person does this three things, what Allah says, Yarjun, others now have hope that Allah will give you Jannat now. So when the person does these three things now, then he can have high hopes that he will go to Jannat in other words. Hazrat Hakim Umar Tanvi Rahmatullah says that the meaning of having hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioned in this ayat for us. How to have. Otherwise, you got to read the Quran also, follow the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also, read our namaz also, give our zakat also, and then you have hope Allah is going to give you Jannat. So you got to do some effort to earn something, not to get anything. You won't get something just without any effort. That example that Mufti Sahab gives here is, he says the person he wants to become a collector. A collector now in India means a person who's got a very high position, a government position he's got. He's in charge of many districts, the responsibility of many districts now. So he's under his post is equal to a magistrate or a judge, for example. So you got a lot of responsibilities. What a person want to become a collector, for example, Mr. says, what this person will do from small now, he got the hope, desire, I want to become a collector. What he'll do from small now, he'll start working towards it, how to become a collector. He'll start going to primary school, then go to high school, then go to college, university. He'll go try and achieve all those the degrees which is necessary to become a collector. And once a person has got all that degrees also, now he can't become a collector like that. He's got to give an application to the government. If there's a vacancy, a vacancy, a post, then he won't get the post of a collector immediately. He'll get a lower post. He'll get first. Then as he sees progress within himself, then he'll get promotion slowly, promotion. And this certificate which he's got, or this degrees which he's got, what it means that this person has got the capabilities now to do the work of a collector now. So slowly, as the time goes past now, and he gets more promotions, then he comes to a deputy collector, he'll become. Then at the end then if someone asks, are you a collector? He says, no, I'm already a collector. I'm just going very near. Very soon I'll become a collector, I think now. Then as a vacancy, then he gets promoted to become a collector after that. So much of effort he makes. From small, he makes the effort, because he's got an object and aim in mind, I want to become something. He spends so much of time, so much of effort, and at the end, after he acquires that. So it shows when a person makes an effort, then a person receives something in return. The same manner with our deen also, we got to make an effort, then we're going to achieve something or receive something. There's one person, he came to a Muslim pious person, and he told him that show me a very easy way to come close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now this Muslim started giving the answer. He started talking to him and asking, who are you, what do you do, where you work. So he said, I am a deputy commissioner. Now he told him that, now how do you become a commissioner like that? But this person never knew what these things. I was asking him what he's doing and all that. Information is taken from him. So he started telling him whatever he did, whatever it is, and started explaining to him. And with this, and normally a person's nature is such, when ask somebody something what they achieved, then they tell the whole story how they achieved it. So now we started telling the Buzruk that this is how I studied from small. I spent so much hours in my studies. I did this. I never take part in a lot of other enjoyments, whatever it is. And slowly I came to this position. I came to become a deputy commissioner. I became now. And the other side says that I knew one person where I should go and buy a cloth from him. I should go to the shop. He said, whenever I go to the shop, he said, the person would tell me, no, what's up? First, in the beginning, initially I was selling meshes on the roadside, going from house to house, door to door. Then after this happened, and now I got a shop, whatever it is. So the person on his own, he tried to say his achievements, how he achieved something. That is the nature of a human being that is now. Sometimes ask somebody, you got a business, how do you get this business, how do you establish this business? He'll tell you the whole story from the beginning to the end, how much hardship I had, what I did, everything. Sometimes the person will say his achievements so much in detail that you say, I got no time, I'll come to you afterwards. And that was the person enjoys telling the person how he achieved that achievement of his. Anyway, as the experience here, they say that when this Wazir asked this person, how do you achieve this place? He said, just how I studied with a lot of effort, and initially with a lot of poverty in the home also. He borrowed money also, whichever way it is. I came to this position. I became deputy commissioner. I became. So I asked him that, what is your age now? So my age was 65 years, or just over 65, my age is now. So he said that it took so long to come to this position. Yes, he said it took so long to come to this position. Now, the Hazrat told him now, it took you so many years now to come to this position, and now you have come to me to become close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It shows that position to come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was more higher than the position of Deputy Commissioner also. So it's definitely better higher than that. Then Hazrat told him that, look now, they took so much of effort, you put so much of effort in your life, for 65 years put effort in your life to come to Deputy Commissioner. Then you want to become close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in just one day, one to do this. How is it possible? So how much effort you put for your worldly achievements, to that degree of put effort for your dini achievements also, then you get somewhere. So in other words, you got to understand how you strive in this world for something, in the same manner you strive for the akhirah also in the same manner. Then you'll achieve something in the akhirah also. So you'll find a person in this world, to achieve the world, he'll work day and night. He won't worry about the rain, cold, summer, heat, nothing. But he'll make sure he's got an object in mind to achieve something in the world, and he'll spend all his efforts and all his capabilities to achieve something in the world. And concerning the akhirat, he wants everything for free. How is it possible that? So without effort, he wants something for the akhirat. It doesn't work like that. How you spend your time and energy to achieve this world, the same amount of energy you would spend to achieve the akhirat, you definitely will achieve something. And we look at the lives of the Sahab Karam or the pious elders, you'll find that they spend a lot of time in achieving that status in their life. They underwent a lot of hardships, a lot of mujahadah they underwent. Then they came to the stage. It's not that they came straight just like on. So it shows how from here we've got to make an effort to achieve the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't depend on your nafs and your desires, and when your nafs desires, if you follow your nafs and desires, then you can achieve something. It's not going to work like that. You got to have some principles in your life. When you got some principles in your life, that principles will guide you to keep your nafs under control. If you've got no principles, then you're not going to have it and guide you to look after your nerves. One, Hazrat Mustafa says that one Molana came to me saying that, what is the necessity for me to go to some pious person, some buzurg, and sit in this company and acquire something that I can do myself also. And then he says that I want such a buzurg that just make one glance on me and I become perfect. I become. So I say, if that's the case, then you look for whole life, you look for, you don't find anybody like that. So people have very different hopes, different methods. They think a different way how to achieve the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a very easy way in order to get everything. It doesn't work like that. How you work for the world, to achieve the world, to that degree you go to work to achieve the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also, then acquire the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like in the world you go under a lot of tests and hardships. In the same way, to achieve the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you could undergo a lot of tests and hardship also. There you could undergo also. Like for example, you find a farmer. The farmer, what will farmer do? He'll buy seeds now. He'll tilt his land. He'll sow the seeds into the ground, and he'll start watering irrigating the field now. And slowly now, after that we'll find someone ask the farmer now, what do you think of the crop this year? So this year, alhamdulillah, I think I have a very good crop because I tilled the land on time. I plowed the land on time also. I put the seed also in. I planted the seed also on time also. Everything was very well. Everything. I'll get a very good crop I think this time. So this person, he made an effort, everything, and now he got the hope of getting a better crop now. He's correct in the estimation of his. But the person never do such things. How can he have hope that I'll get a better crop? So in the same manner, a farmer makes so much of effort to get a better crop. The same way we're going to make effort for deen also we're going to make. A person has got a shop in the same way when a person has got a shop, for example. How much effort he put in the shop to build up his shop, his business, everything, build his reputation in the business. He becomes honest in his business, whatever it is. Now after he got the reputation now, he gets all the benefits after that now. So much effort he put in. For example, there was one incident written in the kitab also. There was one businessman, his business wasn't flourishing a lot. And he was always in debt, a lot of problems he was all the time. So somebody advised him, there is a buzurg in the pious person in your locality, why don't you go and take advice from him and tell him to make dua for you. So now because he was in need, so now he went to the buzurg pious person and tell the pious person that I've got this. And when he was busy with his zikr, as God was busy with, You look for wait for a little time, then you could meet him. He met him and told him, "This is my problem I got." So Hazrat told him that, you know what, when you do your business, measure properly and weigh properly. Was do that. In other words, the teaching of Islam, teaching of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he just told him two small words, simple words. He told him, do this, just do this. And he was busy in his zikr afterwards again. This person came away now, he thought now the Buzzuk gave me the advice, let me practice on this advice now. So he came back now, he's selling his goods now, he's weighing properly also, he's measuring properly also. Now slowly people came to know that the shopkeeper, he sells goods, proper goods, proper quality goods also, he don't deceive anybody, and he weighs properly also, measures properly also. So more people started coming buy goods by him now. And slowly his business started flourishing slowly. His business flourished so much that now he tell the people, you know what now, you measure yourself, you weigh yourself. So people should take advantage of it, weigh extra, measure extra. No, you must be happy that you bought the goods, happy with it. Because he knew very well that one is a person sells goods, for example, there are two shopkeepers, sell the same amount of goods. One shopkeeper sells the goods, and he sells the proper goods according to how he has described the goods. And the proper quality sells the goods. So this was sold the goods, that buyer is happy, the seller is happy, he got some money, the person goes away. Another shopkeeper, he also sells the same goods, but he deceives the person. He sells him something and sells him inferior quality goods. Don't sell proper, the quality he has explained, you don't sell that quality goods. This person also sold the goods, reps and bought the goods, and he also got money. But what's the difference now? The first person when he went home now, he'll praise this businessman, this person was an honest person and gave me goods what he described to me. The quality was good, the quantity was, everything was good. And it's like 10 people you went by that person, this person is a very reliable person. And the second shopkeeper, the person will say, this person is a con. He deceived me. He never gave me proper goods, everything was. And with the result, the word will go everywhere that this shopkeeper is not an honest shopkeeper. So the first person, he took du'as, and he benefited with the du'as. And the second person, he got nahusat, got the curses of the people. So how is he going to work in his business? So yeah, same with this businessman now, because he told him, you weigh and you measure whatever it is. At least he can get du'as from that person. He won't get curses from anybody. So what the result is, business increased even more and more. So much so that what he did now, in the olden days, the business people should have a scale in the shop, or 2 pens on one side, either sides. On one side he should put the weight, and one side he should put the goods. So that weight he made of gold. And he sell now. The people should come see now how the person weigh in gold now. So business increase even more. He's got even more popularity everywhere. So one day a thought came to his mind that this weight I made of gold, I think it belongs to the Buzurg who gave me the prescription to get barakat in my business. He took it, went to the Buzurg, told him that, you gave me advice now, what's your advice? I've got so much of barakat that my weight was made of gold, I think this belongs to you. Buzurg told him, what you think? He said, no, it belongs to you. He said, no, take it and we throw it in the river. Now this Buzurg is thinking now, so much money and effort I bought this, know how valuable, how much, how expensive this weight is made of gold. How can you throw it in the river just like that? Now his nafs is talking about what to do now. Once he saying this is very expensive, how much weight? Once I said, Buzurg told me do that, what I do now? So then he think that no, because of the Buzurg advice, I got so much of wealth, let me just listen to whatever he's saying, do whatever it is, forget everything now. So he took that and he threw it into the river, and came home now. And came back to the shop now, started his business, whatever it is. After 2 or 3 days, there was a caravan of people who were coming to buy things in the bazaar, and should come to him also to buy. So they came to the river to freshen up themselves, they started washing their bodies and clothes, whatever, and they found this thing lying in the river. They picked it up and they said, let's clean this, just took that, this the weight of this shopkeeper. Look, somebody looks like he had a robbery, and somebody threw it here, whatever it is. So they picked it up, they washed it and went to the shop and told him that, hey, I think you had a robbery, whatever it is. He had this thing lying in the river, this belongs to you. So this must say, you wait here. He took the same weight and went back to the Buzurg now. Told the pious person that now this is what happened. So Buzurg said, look, whatever is meant for you, Allah will definitely give it to you. No matter how it will come back to you. So that to have the iman of that degree is what is required from a mu'min. Otherwise, our muqaddar will come to us, whichever way it will come to us, definitely will come to us. So that iman we got to bring within ourselves. This was just a small little incident mentioned here. So in other words, how much effort we make for the world so much effort we make for the year after. So in this case, you can understand from here, this pious, this businessman also made an effort on his iman, made effort on the laws of Shariat, and follow the laws of Shariat. So Allah Ta'ala gave him so much of benefit. Allah gave him, and now his iman increased more because he saw that what our iman said, that whatever the muqaddar, whatever our taqdeer will come to us, he experienced it, visually experienced it already. So this iman increases more also. So and the more effort we make, the more we value our iman and see things will come according to how Allah has promised us that have come in transpire. One other instance from Musa explains, he said one person, he wanted a tawiz for himself. So he went to Shah Sahab Rahmatullah Alayh, and he told him, I want a tawiz have children. So Shah Sahab asked him that, now how is your wife, do you get married or what? He said, no, I never get married, I want children first. So imagine how you get children without getting married. So you got to make an effort, whatever the sequence is, you got to follow the sequence, then you're going to get something. There's one person, right says here that, there's one person, he was only in the thought that I must get married to the king's daughter, I must get married now, whatever it is. So that thought all the time. After some time, someone asked him, now, how far did you manage now? How far is the proposal going? What's happening? He said, half is accepted, only half is over, what for other half now, I don't know. So my side is accepted, on the other side we don't know what's happening that side. So these are all fantasy, fantasy, they never come to reality, these things. So we got to look at the world is a world of reality, this world is. Cause and effect this world is. So we got to worry and work according to how the world functions, carries on. According to that we go to work, then we don't lose out, then we'll achieve something in our lives. Otherwise we won't achieve anything in our lives. As once he explained that one person, whenever there's a wedding in the town, should make his house always clean and open the door, everything, clean everything. So someone asked after, whenever there's a wedding, why you clean your house? What's happening? Why don't you get married? He said, no, people do forget sometime also. In kids are bright and good forget, and they come to my house, what happened then? So people have to live in this world of fantasy, they live sometimes, and they don't worry what is happening. But you got to live in the world of reality, you got to live where things are according to reality, then you got no problem then. So how much is in your capacity, so much you got to do, so much you got to do. So in considering the world, we strive ourselves because we know the benefit of those things. So similarly, you got to work for deen also, you got to work. According to that degree, you got to work for our deen, to acquire our deen also, then we'll get some achievement in deen-wise also. So now, you got to work according to what Allah has commanded us, according to the rules, how Allah has stipulated, we work according to that, then the remainder is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why they say there's two things, as Thanvi Anamutla writes, one is called tajweez, one is called tafweez. Tajweez means you make your own planning, you got to make your own planning. You got to work also, you got to do according to your own planning, you got to do that. But at the end now it's tafweez, whatever Allah Ta'ala wills will happen. Have you open up a business, you do everything, you work hard, everything. Now the result of how much profit you're going to get is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now. Whatever Allah Ta'ala gives you, you must be happy with that. Then that means you got contentment within yourself. Allah Ta'ala increase the favors upon you in that manner. But on one side you work so hard and then you complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I work so hard and I never get what I was supposed to get, then that is not how a Muslim should behave. Mufti Shafi Sahab Rahmatullah Alayh, he was in Pakistan, in Karachi, and some business people should come and meet him also, and so always complained that we are having a loss in our business, After some time, got so worried and concerned that every time they're giving loss, having a loss, it felt pity for them, told him, you know what, you have a loss in a business, then why don't you change your business to some other business? So they're quiet now, not speaking a word. Some other business who are around in the Majlis Al Hazrat, that's not the case. You don't understand these business people, you see. These business people, they have a meeting at the beginning of the year, and they have a projection that I will get so much of profit at the end of the year. When they don't get the profit at the end of the year, they say so much I will lost, you see. Hazrat Mustafa said, what I thought of profit, they got profit in the business, but they never get the estimated profit, that's why they say the loss. So it shows the data, they now understand what is tajweez and tafweez. You make tajweez, but when you're happy with whatever Allah gives you, then that's how you get contentment within yourself. So in all aspects of our lives, you've got to make an effort to do something, then the result is in Allah Ta'ala's hands after that, and you've got to accept it. So we go to use means to achieve something in our lives, That's why in one hadith, Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam say, Al-Qais man dana nafsahu wa amala al-alama ba'ad al-maut. So intelligent person is that person who will work for something, prepare for his death after his death. That will work in this world in such a way that he will be successful in the year after he will be successful. And a foolish person, that person will follow his nafs and desires always, and then hope for something in return for that. So it shows how Nabi Sallallahu explained to us that an intelligent person is that person who will prepare for his year after. Death is inevitable. Death is a reality, and after death is a life after death. We all know that now. Now to prepare for the death now, that person who prepares for that person is an intelligent person, and that person is a foolish person who follows his nafs and desires all the time, and then have hopes that Allah Ta'ala will do this, Allah will do that for me. It doesn't work like that. You got to make an effort to do something. That it comes instant come also in hadith that a person was said when he said that Allah will provide for me, Allah will give me sustenance, so I'll wait for sustenance from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So he said now under one tree now, he said Allah will give me sustenance. And now he saw that one bird was coming to a tree and going up and down. So after he tried to saw it properly, he saw that the bird was bringing some grain in his beak, and there was another bird on the tree was blind and putting the blind bird's mouth that grain. He was feeding the blind. So he thought, now this shows that Allah provides for a blind bird like that, so I must just search, Allah will provide for me also. Then after a little while, one intelligent person was going past, and he saw this person. What are you doing? You see, I'm seeing this bird here. He's feeding the other bird, and Allah providing and giving rest to the blind bird now. So I said, Allah will also give me rest. I'm just sitting here. So the intelligent person told him that, now, why are you taking inspiration from blind bird? Why don't take inspiration from the bird who can see? Why don't you work yourself, earn yourself, and help somebody else? Why would somebody else help you? Understand? So a Muslim, in other words, is always active and productive always. You've got to be active, you've got to be productive all the time. That's how Muslims should be. Just in one hadith, Nabi Karim Sallallahu say, a strong mu'min is better than a weak mu'min. So we got to have this with ourselves, that we got to be productive all the time and have plan for the future. Then you are an intelligent person, in other words. So from here, we can just summarize the same thing also, that concerning the worldly efforts. A person work hard, very hard in this, to acquire the world, and at the same time, then also he has hope that I will get something without any work also, doesn't matter. But in the meantime, he works to achieve something. But in the mind, he's got that feeling, or that in his heart also. I get something free of charge. Better I get something without any effort also at the same time. So yeah, but at the same time, he keeps on working also till you don't get something without an effort. So why concerning Deen, we don't behave like that also? We got to work, keep on working till you get something. The same way now, this ayat Allah was mentioned in the Quran also. It explains the same thing, that that we got to read the Quran also, we got to read namaz also, and we got to spend in the path of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Then you can have hopes in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that this business has got no loss in it. And others will, you're only going to benefit in the year after, will help and benefit in the year after. And we know the year after which we achieve is because of the mercy and kindness of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. We won't achieve going to Jannat with our own actions and our own deeds. We go to Jannat because of the mercy of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, because whatever good action we did in this world, Allah rewarded us in the world with it already. Allah gave us health, Allah gave us wealth, Allah gave us a wife and children, Allah gave us a house to stay in, everything. So whatever good action we did, we got it written in the world already. What are we going to get in the year after for it now? So in the year after, we go to Jannat with the mercy of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala only. That's why we carry on with the command of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. When we fulfill the command of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that Allah will have mercy on us and Allah will put us into Jannat with Him. And that's what we go to strive for. So what is the basic and crux of the discussion? The crux of discussion is now that whatever Allah Ta'ala has commanded us to do, we must do those things. And what Allah Ta'ala has forbidden us to do, we must stay away from those things. That is the reality of our life, in other words. Now a person which Allah Ta'ala has commanded us to do something, that person, in spite of he can do those things, he doesn't do those things there, then that is wrong. And Allah Ta'ala has forbidden us to do something, and in spite of we can stay away from it, we still do those things there. So that is completely wrong. That's not how Muslims will behave. Muslims don't behave like that. Where there is something of guna, that Muslim will never go near that guna. He'll stay away from there because it's commanded to stay away from guna. And where we have been encouraged to do something of neki, of goodness, then Muslim will always go forward to do those neki, goodness, will do that. So that is the shan of a mu'min. Sometimes you do something which you're supposed to carry on doing, but sometimes due to some illness, for example, or some other excuse, you cannot do those things there. Now ask Allah Ta'ala for forgiveness, Allah will forgive, definitely Allah will forgive you. Because you were doing this all the time and now due to some excuse you cannot do it. Like the example, a person is working for you, and a person is working for you now, he's working very diligently with you, and you are very happy with his work, and one day now he doesn't come to work, for example, or something happened, he never comes. What will you say? This person is a very honest person, maybe he's got sick, I think, that's why he never come to work. You'll overlook his absence. The same manner, when you do the work of Allah, what Allah has commanded us to do, and stay from what Allah has commanded us to stay away from, and then if you fall in that process, Allah will overlook and forgive you, because you never do that purposely, in other words. So here, what is being mentioned here, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and explained Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, has given us hopes. A person has got iman, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gives hopes to that person. They've got iman, then don't worry, you are going to go to Jannah, you're going to go. But at the same time, what is it now? Sometimes a person does so much of good work he does. Does so much of good work, he gets on so much, then all of a sudden he can't do something good now. Now he gets despondent now. I can't do this. Because he gets despondent and takes bad turn spiritually takes. For such people now, these hadiths are for such people that look, now you did so much, now you can't do something because you got old, for example, you got sick, for example, whatever, you can't do it now. Don't get despondent. Allah will accept all this now. Because come in hadith, the person while he's healthy, he does something, Ma'mul is punctual as Ma'mul. When he gets old, when he gets sick, he can't do it, then Allah will give him the sawab of the whole thing without doing it also. So Allah is so kind, Allah is so kind. And at the same time, Allah said the person does some good action, then Allah will give him 10 rewards for it. And the person does something bad, a guna, Allah will give only 1 guna for it, or Allah will forgive that guna also. So kind Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. So you can see there's a balance in the Shariat. And Nabi Karim has taught us now where it mustn't become very complacent. That, no, I did so much now, I achieved everything. No, you could have the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also at the same time. That Allah ask me one thing, what I'm answer for it now. For example, comes, our Hazrat explained twice, said, there's one pious person, he was always obeying Allah ta'ala all the time, and had iman, yaqeen with himself also. And when he passed away, Allah ta'ala asked him, what did you bring with me? So he thought to himself, if I say I brought my ibadat, there may be some flaw in the ibadat. How can ibadat in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Sort of every system he had some reservation, how can I put this? And then he thought, I rather tell Allah ta'ala, I brought iman only. I brought tawheed only. I brought tawheed, and then there will be no fault in tawheed. So he told Allah, I brought tawheed. Allah ta'ala said, what about the night of the milk? Now he couldn't understand, what is the night of the milk now? So one day he drank milk, in the morning there was pain in his stomach. So I asked him, what's happened? He said, I drank milk last night because the pain came in. He never thinks now that benefit and loss from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, shifa and sickness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He never thought that he never think that I gave the pain in the stomach. He blamed the milk for that. So he got very ashamed of himself. He said, I made a mistake. I got nothing with you. And Allah saw that in him. Allah said, no, I've forgiven you. And asked for what? He said, because one day it was a very cold night. In that cold night, there was one puppy outside, shivering. So you brought puppy in your home and put it next to the fire and covered it with a blanket. When the puppy felt comfortable and happy, and his own puppy went outside. This kindness you showed to the animal, for that I'm forgiving you now. Imagine all the ibadat, everything was put aside, and Allah accepted this. So we got to be always gone on our toes, always to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whichever way you can please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No wish neki Allah ta'ala is going to accept from us. That's why Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, what she says, that if it's a small neki, don't think it to be a small neki and just leave it aside. And the small guna, don't think it to be a small guna and do it also. You don't know that neki, what you're doing, well, the means of your success in the year after. And you don't know that guna which you adopted, well, the means of your destruction in the year after. So no matter whatever it is, we could try and practice on what we were taught by our deen, our sharia. We could practice on that. No matter how small the thing can be, the small thing we will do with ikhlas and sincerity, that will become means of our success will become. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says also that I won't give as punishment to anybody besides those people who are disobedient to the Nabi and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are hopes Allah Ta'ala gives for the mu'mineen, that when they make iman Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and comply to all the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah Ta'ala tell them, you don't get despondent at all, because you never commit shirk. Because of that you'll never go into Jahannam. And if you got to go to Jahannam also because of your bad action and guna, whatever it is, just to cleanse yourself, it will be just to clean yourself, and then you still go to Jannah, you're going to go to, in other words. So this brings that courage to us to do more good work, and if we falter somewhere, then Allah Ta'ala, because of His mercy and kindness, will forgive us. Like a person does good work also, and does bad work also. On the day of Qiyamah, Allah Ta'ala will take account of our actions. If you did more good work and less bad work, Allah will overlook and send you Jannah, will send you. If you did more bad work, now what will happen now? That's why it comes in hadith that when the person does some guna, then what must he do? Do some good work immediately after that, to counter the evil that guna has made. So the more good work you are going to do, Allah will look at the good action, get happy and put you in Jannah. And imagine a person goes to Jannah without any reckoning, without going to Jahannam. Those other people are the initial people who go to Jannah. Those are the fortunate people who go to Jannah. So we must try and understand, to go to Jannah, we must go direct to Jannah. Why go via Jahannam to Jannah? For example, the person does some crime in his world, and now he goes to the jail. He goes now. He spent time in the jail for his crime, and now when he comes out of jail now, when he comes to society, what people say? This guy was a convict first. He was convict. Although the society living with everybody, he's got house, everything. So he was a convict. But same way, you're going to go by Jahannam, you're going to go to Jannah. You're going to be Jannah definitely, but still they'll have that this person, why he committed a sin. Didn't have so much of understanding the world. We would go to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obey the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They explicitly told us to obey Allah and the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Still they went against the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How did they have the guts to go against the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So then that will cause for shame, it will be, and regret for it will be. So it's better to work in such a way that we go to Jannah directly with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is where complying to the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, then my rahmat encompasses everything. Otherwise, whether it's a mu'min or not, or kafir, a person who has no iman also, Allah's ni'mat is for everybody. The air is free for everybody. The food is free for everybody. The land is for everybody. Allah Ta'ala is open to everybody. But who will benefit from ni'mat? Those people got iman. You got iman, then you got benefit from the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in that manner, you'll be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will for His rahmat will send you to Jannah straight away. In one hadith, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam says here, that person who gives witness that no one is worthy to worship besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you only make ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and don't ascribe partners to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and give witness that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a servant and messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he gives witness of Isa alayhi salam to be a Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he's the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Although Isa alayhi salam was not born to medium of a husband and wife, but he was born to the word of Allah. Allah said kun, and was born. So he is from the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and at the same time, he give witness of Jannah and Jahannam also at the same time, that person will go into Jannah, will go. No matter whatever guna he does, in other words. And now this is our basis of our iman is this. We have iman like this, we have, and we don't make object on any Nabi, we don't have object on any Nabi also of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doubt on any Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have full conviction on the powers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then that person, no matter what he does, will still go to Jannah, is going to go. In other words, if you make some guna also, you'll go to Jahannam just to clear the guna. Only pure people will go in Jannah only. So you've got guna, you've got to wash the guna up in Jahannam, the fire of Jahannam, you've got to wash the guna up, and after you go to Jannah, you're going to go again. So these are all hopes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us here, that your iman is perfect and complete, then definitely you can go to Jannah. Till before you die, if you never commit any shirk, then you will go to Jannah. But if you commit a shirk before you pass away, then you can't go to Jannah. You could keep that in mind always. The one incident of Hazrat Molana Qasim Sahab Nanoti Rahmatullahi alayhi. And his neighbor was a Banya, Hindu. But the Banya had a lot of love and had a lot of time for Nanoti Rahmatullahi alayhi. She was always at his service always. And his thought came to his mind also to accept Islam, but his worried of his family people. So after some time he got very sick and ill, and when he couldn't talk, he wouldn't speak anything at the time, and then he passed away. Hazrat Nandiyan saw him in the grave and told Lalaji, why are you doing Jannah? Jannah is for Muslims only. He said, you don't know, when I was very sick, I couldn't talk, I loved your way of life. So I made intention in my heart that I love the way of Qasim Nanoti Rahmatullah. I love his way of life and accept his way of life. Accept whatever his iman, accept that his beliefs I accept. So then Allah accepted that decision of mine and put me to Jannah. I say I never knew that was iman. So imagine the person who has iman only, don't have kufr and shirk in him. That person will definitely go to Jannah. Will go no matter whatever it is. In another hadith, Nabi Karim Sallallahu explains that the person who make one good action, Allah will give him 10 rewards for the one action he does. And the person does a guna, Allah will give him only one guna. And it comes also in hadith that the person in the moment that makes a guna, Allah tells the angels that wait, don't write the guna down still. He might make tawbah just now. If he makes tawbah, then don't write it down. So it shows that Allah has given us time, respite, that whenever we make a guna, make tawbah immediately. The angels won't write it down also immediately. So we should try and come close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and try and achieve the rahmat, mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah will forgive us for our shortcomings. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the person who comes one hand towards, one span towards me, Allah comes towards him, one hand Allah comes towards him. So it shows how kind Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. For example, a small child takes one step, is learning to walk, now he takes one step, what the parents do? They go forward and quick hug the child, bring the child forward. Because he took one step forward already. The same way, if we take one step forward, Allah will quickly hug us and embrace us immediately. Allah will embrace us also. And the person who comes one hand towards me, Allah says, then Allah will become one bar. One bar means come one hand, does allow two, and there's four hands that embrace him. You go only one hand forward, Allah embrace you. What is four arms? Allah will embrace you. The person who comes walking towards me, Allah says, I'll come running towards him. So what does this mean? The person who makes itaat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who obeys Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah gets so happy that Allah embraces him immediately. So show a little bit of itaat will make, a little bit of become obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What the response of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah immediately embraces him and encompasses him in his mercy immediately. And what Allah says, if a person comes to me with gunas, as much as the whole world will come to me, but the time before he dies, he doesn't commit any shirk, Allah says, I will forgive him all his gunas. Imagine how kind and merciful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. You can come with gunas as much as the whole world from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you don't make shirk, you accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, accept Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah will be kind and can forgive you also. Understand? So this is the benefit of our iman. The value of our iman that is given to us. We've got to value with iman and try and do as much good work as possible, that we can be a recipient of Allah's kindness and mercy, that we can go to Jannah and we can enter Jannah in the initial stages. We can enter Jannah. So from here we can understand that the little effort we make to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is prepared to accept the little effort also and reward us in abundance for the little effort. One hadith and one Sahab asked Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that, Ya Rasulullah, what action is that makes something compulsory on us? You can see from how the Sahaba Kiram were, what was their mentality, what was their ideology, what was the thinking pattern we can see from there. Their whole pattern was, how must we be successful in the year after? Whatever question they asked, how must we be successful in the year after? How must we live a better, comfortable life? How must we be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? This is what we could achieve in our lives. Our speech must be that how can we please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our action must be how can we please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This must be our daily routine must be of that type. Find among the Sahaba when you meet one another, what is discussed? How much Quran you read? How much namaz you read? They discuss and remind one another, you're supposed to read so much, how are you reading less now, whatever is happening. we should have that feeling, that nature within ourselves. I mean, meet our Muslim brothers also. How do you spend your night now? How do you read your Quran or your namaz or your good action, whatever? How's your parents? How do you look after your parents, whatever it is? So encourage one another to do good work all the time. That's our Islamic responsibility we're going to carry out. Nabi Karim also replied to him saying that a person who passes away in such a situation in which doesn't commit any shirk, then that person will go to Jannat. That is one. And the second thing which the Muslim replied to his question was that the person who dies in the condition which adopts the shirk, then that person will go into Jahannam. So these are the basics of how to go to Jannat and to Jahannam. We learn how to look after our parents, look after the sick people. Allah will also look after us in the same manner. There's one incident, there's one person, he had his wife passed away, he had no children, he had his old mother very sickly, and he needed to attend to his mother always. So one day while he was pressing the leg of his mother, massaging the leg of his mother, he told the mother that I would like to make a lot of your khidmat, but I can't do it. I could go and earn something to look after you. So mother said, no, don't worry about that Allah will look after you. You will look after, I need you always here. So he said, okay, I'll stay with you. So what must that? So mother told me, we take, in India we get like a rarely they call it a cart. So he took the cart, say puts the fruit on top and put it outside the door. And leave us the notice on top that I can't attend to the business. Whoever wants buy from here does the price list and put the money under the tart set under there. And come to the house. So he did that. He was outside, and he comes in to look after his mother the whole day. At night, he brings the cart inside now. The cart got money in the bottom now. He buys nearly this for his mother and get it like that. So someone asked him what's happening. He said, this is my mother's dua. She told me I need her. She needs me. So I attend to her. So Allah attends to my needs also in the same manner. Then somebody come to know that no, my mother is very sick. Somebody they go to the bazaar, they buy some clothing. They buy one set for my mother also. They bring for my mother also. Somebody will buy some food, sometimes the bazaar says, no, let's take some food for the older lead also. It brings food for the lead also. So Allah provides risk like that in that manner, and I look after my mother, and with birth of my mother, I'm getting risk also at the same time. So it shows that when we are aware of the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah definitely will look after us also in that manner. Allah will look after us. But the condition we've got to remind one another, and we've got to keep on doing good work at all time. Then also it's good that good is coming into our lives. We have yaqeen Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us also risk in that manner. Allah will give us risk also. But you've got to have that confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we know now, there's a new year started now. Islamic New Year started now. So what is our responsibilities now? Our responsibility is now that we've got to try and take assessment of our past year and make a resolution of the future year is coming now. Person has got a business, what does he do? Same thing, with year ends, what he does, he takes a stock and see what is in the shop now. And now he make a resolution for the future year, what was it for following year now. So we got to do the same thing. We got to also look at our past, how the past year of ours go. And Nabi Karim Sallallahu says that the person's the day before it, and that today must be a better day than the day before it. Then that person is successful. It's coming up. So today is worse than yesterday. But the previous to that, he's not a fortunate person, not an intelligent person, in other words. So imagine what about the whole year then? So if we can make time ponder over the whole year, how do we spend our whole year? Where do we slip up? Where do we went against the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sincerely. And make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sincere tawbah. Allah will accept your tawbah. And make a resolution for the coming year now. We're going to improve ourselves. And especially when you see in our days nowadays, how many people are passing away in our society, in our families, our close relatives are passing away. And then too we don't come to our senses, then there's something wrong with us. There's something wrong with us then. So we go to try and understand that our life is very short. You don't know when death will come. Coming in the world, we come in sequence, we come in the world. The big brother, the little brother, the small brother, or sister, whatever, come in sequence. But when you leave the world, there's no sequence after that. Go to the Qabristan, you can see. You find all ages of people you'll find. From a small child to an old man you'll find, an old person you'll find in the Qabristan you'll find. So don't say, I'll live for so long, I'll do whatever. No, do whatever you got to do at the moment and plan for your future. That is more important. Try and practice in the present what you're doing and plan for your future, then you're an intelligent person. But if you're not going to plan for the future, then you're going to have a problem. For example, Nabi Karim Sahab said that the month of Muharram is a very blessed month. If you keep one roza in the month of Muharram, it's equal to 1 month roza, so you're going to get. Imagine how much sawab you get. For little work you get, so much sawab you're going to get. Then Nabi Sahab said also that you keep roza on the Ashura, so Allah will forgive all your back sins, previous year's sins. Imagine how much of wrong we did in the previous year now. And now to get ourselves clean from that now, so simple, easy. Just keep a roza of the Muharram, keep roza. So if some say keep roza on the 9th and the 10th, or 10th or 11th, keep roza. So simple, just with 2 rozas you keep and Allah will forgive all your sins. So we got to try and keep this matter. We got to go forward to do whatever Nabi Sallam taught us. That will show you got love for Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But if you don't do what Nabi Sallam told us to do, then it shows you got no love for Nabi Sallam. You got no confidence in the words of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So we got to try and see that we got to spiritually we got to uplift ourselves daily by following the commands of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Imitate the life of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You see that love of Iman coming in our hearts, the sweetness of Iman coming in our hearts, then that sweetness you cannot explain to anybody. Only you know how sweetness you can find the commands of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Follow the life of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We find the Sahab also, find our elders, our Kabirin also, how much you spend time in ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And people say, what are you called mad or what? So no, the enjoyment we getting in our ibadah, you don't know about it. How much we are benefiting, you don't know about it. So because they're not doing it, they don't know the benefit of it. So our Haji Pajar Hamdullah say, the proof of the pudding is in eating the pudding also, see. Once you when do the thing and find the benefit in that, see, then you will understand how beneficial it is. So try and understand that we got to have a nature of promoting happiness with one another, muhabbat with one another. And try and have a nature of solving problems, not to complicate problems. Try and live a life faith, don't put somebody into confusion. Our Molana Siddiq Sahab say to make some guna or do something which is wrong and put a doubt in somebody's mind, to do something of doubtful thing and put doubt in somebody's mind, that also is a guna, you see. So don't do something which is doubtful, that put somebody else in doubt also, that also is a guna. So when read the works of our pious elders, we come to understand a lot of things, how a lot of our problems we can solve like that. So make a habit of always reading some Dini Kitab at home also. That will bring about that Deen awakening within ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran said that look after your family people, wives and children. Save them for 5 Jahannam. Save them. How are you going to save them for 5 Jahannam? Right? Making effort on them. Make sure that each one in the house read the namaz. Each one in the house read the Quran. Each one have Islamic mentality in them. They know how to look after their parents. They know how to give service to their parents and all that. So once you have that in your home, then that house becomes the house of Jannah. It will become. And without that, then have the house of Jahannam it will become. They find some of our Kabin will find also that when they got married, Muhammad Sahab al-Lahori Rahmatullah Ali, when he got married to his wife, at night he had some food, had some 2 rotis at night they ate together. Half roti was left over, so he told the wife, leave it in the shelf now. Tomorrow morning we'll have a breakfast, we'll have it. Now they were so poor, they didn't have enough food to eat also. So the wife started crying. So I asked him, why are you crying now? So I told your father I'm very poor. I cannot give you a lavish life, whatever it is. I can't fulfill your desire, whatever it is. He said, no, it's not that. I knew that. But my father told me that I'm getting married to a very pious person, a person with a lot of tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And here I'm seeing you leave for the morning. But then you got no tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah gave us, then wouldn't give us in the morning or something. So you feel ashamed of yourself. You say, I thought I will kind to my wife, but wife's taqwa is much more than me also. After some time the wife went home. Now there's food in the house, sometimes there's no food in the house. She's making sabr also, he's making sabr also. After some days the wife goes home. Now the mother asks, how are you faring? Say, mother, you told me of Jannat and sweetness of Jannat and the benefits of Jannat you had explained to me. I'm experiencing in my house in Jannat. She's getting sweetness of Jannat in her life, in the house she's experiencing with all that poverty in the house. So imagine how she's enjoying that life. And here with us, how is our lives? But anything that you are deprived of, you're complaining. Always are complaining. That's why you got no progress in our lives. So always think whatever Allah Ta'ala is, whatever Allah has given to us is more than what we deserve also. It's more than what we deserve, what Allah has given to us. Have that within ourselves, then inshallah we'll see the progress coming in our lives. In short, we've got to try and see, got to work an effort on our family people as much as possible. And first is ourselves, individuals. Make effort on yourself to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more you obey the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on yourself, then that makes you a better person. And with the result, the people around you will also become better after that. And each person make effort on his own self. The result is that home is a happy home and a better home already. And each home becomes a better home, what happens? The society is a better society already. So the work starts from the individual. You've got to understand our responsibilities, and we're trying to discharge our responsibilities. Then all you'll find goodness coming into action. Sahab received Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was an example for them to show how much conduct their life. That's why those people said with Sahaba, they also led upright life. So if you stay in the company of pious people and you see how they live a pious life and how it is ideology and thinking, then you also become similar. That sometimes a pious person won't tell you anything, but it was the actions, how you conduct his life. You learn a lot of things from them, and it's how you improve yourself also sometimes. So it's important that we learn and have some kitab in our homes that we can understand how to conduct our lives. The main examples we'll see where the pious people don't speak, but the actions make me to understand and realize what you must do. Some they speak only one small little word, they'll speak one sentence, one word they'll speak only. That gives answer to all the questions it gives. So it's important that we try and look after our iman and nurture our iman to such an extent that we become successful, and we on the day of Qiyamah we are those people who go to Jannat without any reckoning. Allah plus to Jannat inshallah.